Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Lacey Siefkin.
And I'm Alyssa Lally. We've got a great show lined up today.
But first, let's take a look outside with our weatherman, Joel Garver. What's it like out there, Joel?
Well, guys, it's still a little bit chilly, but it looks to warm up later on, and I'll talk about that in my forecast later on in the newscast.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. From Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Lacey Siefkin.
And I'm Alyssa Lally. Coming up on today's show, a large grant has been gifted to the university, coverage of the deployment ceremony at Fort Riley, and a live look inside the Sunset Zoo.
But first, our top stories. Kurdish fighters defending the key Syrian border city of Kobani are severely outmatched as ISIS militants advance. If Kobani were to fall, ISIS would control a 62-mile stretch between Syria and Turkey. A United Nations official said Thursday there is a call for the international community to step in.
As the dangerous situation escalates, Fort Riley soldiers prepare to deploy overseas in an effort to help defuse the situation. Live at the Fort Riley deployment ceremony is Channel 8 reporter Daniela Serrano Martinez. Tell us about the ceremony, Daniela.
Fort Riley, Kansas. We just witnessed the casing ceremony for the 1st Infantry Division headquarters here in Fort Riley, Kansas. Now, 200 of these troops will be heading out to Baghdad in Iraq to fight the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, also known as ISIS. The other 300 troops will be out, and they will be sent out to the command center of area and responsibility. Now, the people of attendance here are family members and soldiers, also including members of the Kansas government, such as Governor Brownback. And it's a very emotional and a very bittersweet moment since these troops will be leaving for an entire year to fight ISIS. Now, this is all behind the nation's strategy to fight and degrade ISIS as well. There's members of media right now, and there's also a lot of cannons being fired to signal off the start of the beginning. That's all we have for today. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for the report, Daniela. What would you do with $50 million? Pay off student loans, buy a new car? For the Department of Agronomy, it is used to help improve the lives of farmers, both local and international. It's life or death as Professor Vera Prasad checks the routes for the little assassins known as aphids. Prasad's Department of Agronomy has just received a $50 million grant that gives them the tools to safeguard and preserve these valuable crops. The U.S. Agency of International Development is providing the funding to Prasad and his team to deliver a solution to help make a dent in world hunger.
The biggest challenge for agriculture is how do we produce more food.
Prasad, a KSU professor of crop ecophysiology, and his team will be focusing on using existing agricultural resources more efficiently to enhance food production and health.
As the population is going up and then resources are becoming limited, so this is a perfect avenue to work on meeting the food demand.
The main crops in this 700-acre farm are corn, soybeans, sorghum, and wheat.
This is one of my passion of working towards agriculture and doing things which makes a difference in people's life.
Prasad and 3 of his grad students were not put off by a little rain and wind.
We are working towards improving agriculture for both the United States, Kansas, and also international countries.
Through the hard work and effort of Prasad and his team, K-State is now the headquarters for this experiment to sustain food production.
So it was a complete, full team effort, so it is satisfying that when you bring people together who have common interests, we will be successful. So I'm really excited, and I was very happy.
Professor Prasad and his team are working hard to make the best out of what our community has.
Last week, Willie reported on the Sears closing at Manhattan Town Center Mall. People may wonder if this downtown area is going to suffer any loss of business. Willie Evans is here again to tell us what might happen after Sears moves out.
Thanks, Alyssa. When Sears leaves, the foot traffic in the downtown area will likely decrease, but the decrease in foot traffic may not last very long, as there will be new stores moving in to fill the vacancies.
The downtown sidewalks are usually filled with shoppers. With the closing of a major part of the Manhattan Town Center Mall imminent, those shoppers may be fewer and further between. Poyntz Avenue is one of Manhattan's largest shopping districts and home to many local businesses. But because of recent changes in the economy and current shopping trends, many of these businesses could be at risk. Ben Sachs, assistant manager at Pathfinder, has noticed a decrease in business, but doesn't feel like they are in trouble.
Definitely business is slower than it has been in the past. I worked here for briefly for a summer a couple years ago, and things were probably busier than they were this summer. But we're still going to get by.
As we reported last week, the closing of Sears stores results in a decrease in foot traffic at shopping malls. The Sears closing could have a negative effect on Manhattan's downtown economy. President and CEO of the Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce, Lyle Butler, is sure of the mall's ability to fill the vacancy.
Our first choice would have been to leave Sears open, but they made a corporate decision, and now as a community we will respond, but we're responding by working through the owners of the mall first.
Butler is confident that the downtown area is strong and will continue to grow.
Now, it's sad to see Sears go, but the downtown area is adapting and shouldn't lose too much business, guys.
That's good to hear. Thanks, Willie. When we come back, we'll hear what the Student Governing Association here at K-State is up to.
And stay tuned for the 5-day weather forecast.
So cute and cuddly. I'm also very charming. I'll tell you what you want to hear and sweep you off your feet. I'm also spontaneous, maybe a little erratic at times. I take risks most people wouldn't, but that makes me fun. I'm also very persuasive. I can convince you to do something you'd never dream of doing. And you'll love my stories. I usually stretch the truth a little bit, but you'll believe me because I'm such a good liar. I'm never wrong, and I never feel guilty. I always win, but just look how cute and innocent I look. I can fool you, your parents. I can even fool your friends. Trust me.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Lacey Siefkin.
And I'm Alyssa Lally. The police are investigating claims of possible sexual battery within the city limits of Manhattan. Claims made this past week involving a juvenile victim under the age of 10. The suspects in question are also juveniles under age 10 years. Due to the nature of the crime, no further information has been released. Hey Reagan, we heard you and some other K-State journalism students got a chance to talk to a big shot in the entertainment business.
That's right, guys. Gail Dembski has won 4 Emmy Awards and has been nominated for 2 more. And we were lucky enough to sit down and ask her some questions to learn more about the television business.
Awesome, let's take a look.
College is a lot of fun, but at the end of 4 years, students must do the inevitable. Get a job.
For those of you who want a career in television, it's awesome. It really is. It's a lot of fun.
Kansas State alumni Gail Dembski helped calm the anxiety of about 20 journalism students during a question and answer session at Dole Hall.
You never want to say no. Somebody calls you, hey, can you work this? Can you work that? Yeah, I think my longest stretch was 48 days without a day off, which cha-ching, yeah, money.
Gail has experience in working the Olympics, Super Bowls, World Cup soccer, and even traveling with the Los Angeles Lakers, which eventually led to her current position at the Jimmy Kimmel Live show.
A lot of jobs that I've been in and stayed with for a long time, especially like Jimmy Kimmel, I've been with them for 11 years, you get comfortable with the job, but you also get comfortable with the people. And those are the most enjoyable jobs. It's the people you work with.
In some careers, getting jobs are harder than others. Gail gave the aspiring journalists excellent advice on the do's and don'ts to land that first job.
First and foremost, know what you want, and then second, let other people know what you want. And they can help you along the way. So many people out there are willing to help.
It's awesome everybody was able to ask Gail questions.
Yeah, it was great to get some real-world feedback that we can actually use in our future careers.
Midterm elections are approaching, and the results will be crucial for our country.
471 seats in Congress are up for election on November 4th, and the Kansas State Student Government Association is doing its part to engage students.
Channel 8 News reporter Megan Miller has more on what's going on in the polls. Megan?
Thanks, ladies. Recently, the Student Government Association held a voting registration drive in the Student Union to get college-age voters to the polls.
Voting is an opportunity that people often pass up. Again, and again, and again.
I think it's absolutely important for everybody to vote, just to have their opinions heard, and I think every vote does count. So I think it's important, and I know I should, just kind of don't always do what I should.
Young adults have a reputation of not voting in important elections, but here at K-State there is a movement to try to change that attitude.
Today we're trying to encourage people to register to vote for the general election that's coming up, and so people who stop by, we ask them if they're registered to vote, and we help them out with the process.
So it's really important that people our age vote. Historically, our generation, the voter turnout amongst us is very low, and so we're just trying to increase that.
Middle-aged to older are the people that vote a lot, and I just think that they realize the significance of it, and younger people, we're still trying to get there.
It's very difficult for college students to kind of understand the process. You know, we're so busy with our everyday lives, you know, getting studying done, you know, going to the next football game. And so I think it's kind of complicated. Another complicated issue is that we're temporary residents in Manhattan. You know, we come from all across the state, and so it's kind of a matter of like, where are we going to register? You know, do I have time to do this, get the right information, that kind of thing.
I think college is a perfect time to set that foundation to vote and make sure you're registered to vote and getting started to vote, because if you start in college, you're much more likely to vote throughout your life.
Many students, like Lauren McDonald, are registering to vote for the first time, hoping their vote matters.
It was really easy to sign up. All you had to do was fill out your name and date and
People who pass up the opportunity to register and vote are also passing up their chance to have a say in our government. Who will control Congress? That's up to you.
Yesterday was the last day for regular registration, but there is a grace period starting today for those who missed out. You can visit your local courthouse for more information.
Thanks, Megan. It's important to get your voice out there. Every vote matters.
When we come back, we'll check out what our friends are doing at the Sunset Zoo.
Plus a look at K-State sports. Stay tuned.
For behind-the-scenes access and up-to-the-minute news, get connected with K-State Athletics on social media. Search K-State Sports to join the conversation today.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Klein's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Lacey Siefkin.
And I'm Alyssa Lally. Up next, we go live to the Sunset Zoo here in Manhattan, where Channel 8 reporter Morgan Hulsman is near one of the exhibits.
What have you got for us today, Morgan?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Ella Casey at the Sunset Zoo. Ella, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on behind us?
Yeah, so we have our Chicoan peccaries behind us. We've got mom, dad, and a new baby that was born about 2.5 weeks ago. And so he's out there right now sunbathing with mom, and dad's enjoying some snacks behind us.
And how long did this happen ago? Do we know if it's a boy or a girl yet?
We don't know gender yet, so they're doing really, really well, and the last thing we want to do is scare them, so we're not going to pull them just to find out the gender of the baby. So when they do their regular vet physical, we'll start to figure out if it's a boy or girl, and as the animal develops, we'll probably figure out whether it's a boy or girl.
And why can't we be in there with them?
Sure. Well, all the animals at Sunset Zoo are absolutely wild animals, and these guys have some pretty long teeth that are pretty dangerous, and then they're also very skittish, so especially being new parents, they'll probably get a little aggressive as we were to get in there. The keepers do go in there, but they're really, really careful when they're in that exhibit with them.
And how long do these normally last? Or stay alive?
Sure. In the wild, it's about 9 to 10 years. In captivity, it's a little bit longer. Mom and dad are a little bit older, so they are 14 years old. So they're doing great, and health-wise, they're perfect. So I expect several more years with these animals.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for letting us be here with you.
Absolutely.
Back to you guys.
That's awesome. Thanks, Morgan.
This weekend, the Kansas State Wildlife Society took a trip to western Kansas to help an endangered species.
Channel 8 reporter Lance Leonard tagged along to see what the conservation effort was all about.
That's right, guys. This weekend I drove 4 hours out to Oakland, Kansas, where I was out from dusk till dawn searching for an animal that was once thought to be extinct. On the first night, we loaded up traps, mounted spotlights, and went on a search for the elusive black-footed ferret. 12 hours later, we were cold, tired, and it seemed we'd seen everything. We saw yucca plants, we saw spiders, we even saw badgers. But still, no ferrets. Let down by the first night's shortcomings, we retired. We headed out for the second night of surveying, hoping that we'd see a ferret. We got lucky. Within an hour, we'd spotted the distinctive green eye shine of the black-footed ferret. After capturing the ferret, we transported him to a trailer where a team of vets were ready to take over. Once the ferrets are taken by the vets, they're put under anesthesia, given a vaccination for distemperament, and inserted with a microchip. Then they are returned to their hole, safe and sound. Hopefully, with the results of the survey, we'll be able to tell whether or not the species will have a bright future.
What's exciting is to see them bouncing back after years of drought, and this has been an excellent survey.
That's pretty neat, Lance. How long until we know the results of the survey?
Well, the survey is ongoing, so we're not going to know until like a few weeks, but we're going to have more info about the story in the future.
Weatherman Joel Garver joins us now. Joel, what's going on with the roller coaster that we call Kansas weather this week?
Well, guys, as we take a quick look outside, we will see that the sun has come out. The sky has cleared just a little bit. There's still some cloud cover, but it's looking to turn out to be a pretty good day. We will go to the national forecast first, and as you can see, we are having a little bit of difficulty, but it is going to be a nice day here in Manhattan. It started out pretty chilly, but it's going to get up to about 76, 77 degrees, and expect some showers tonight. It's going to start pretty late this evening, and we will expect showers through tomorrow morning. If we can go to my 5-day forecast. As you can see in the 5-day forecast, today, like I said, it's going to be a high of about 81. Tomorrow, expect rain, and through the weekend, it's going to be mid to low 60s.
Thanks for that forecast, Joel. When we return, find out why the K-State family is wearing blue.
Along with an update on what's happening in the world of sports.
Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat, study, play, study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count, especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Lacey Siefkin.
And I'm Alyssa Lally. The Kansas City Royals have finally accomplished something they haven't done in 29 years, and that's make the playoffs.
And while Manhattan is a 2-hour drive from the local point of all the excitement, that doesn't mean residents here didn't show their support. Channel 8 News' Zaldi DeUnion has more.
Thanks, guys. Yes, the Kansas City Royals are truly the Cinderella team of this year's postseason, and people here in Manhattan are making sure they join in on all of the action.
Does this happen in Aggieville? One might guess it happens quite a bit, but in this occasion, fans are cheering for a team that's different than their usual.
Now, people usually see everyone wearing purple around Aggieville, but on a night like tonight, they'll be seeing people wear a different color.
And that color was blue, as fans around Manhattan flocked around Aggieville while sporting their Royals gear when KC took on the Oakland Athletics in their first playoff game since 1985. But with that being said, Royals fans, such as K-State student Bailey Cormack, have suffered through numerous disappointing seasons, which makes this game even more special.
It's really exciting. I feel like I'm finally getting what I deserve for being a Royals fan for so long.
For other fans, baseball is the only sport they follow, making this occasion even more memorable.
I cannot think of a single sporting event in my entire life that I've been more excited for.
And what a game it was for everyone in Aggieville. Nerves were at their breaking point when the Royals were trailing, but that didn't last, as the excitement arose after the Royals came back to tie the game. And it was only a matter of time before the Royals took it for good, causing Aggieville to go nuts. Showing that the Royal Blue lives deep in the hearts of people outside of Kansas City.
The Royals are now into the American League Championship Series after sweeping the Los Angeles Angels earlier this week, and up next for them are the Baltimore Orioles. So, hopefully they can keep it rolling and do well in this next series as well.
We hope so too. What an exciting time for Kansas City. Thanks, Zaldi.
Speaking of the Royals, let's keep the ball rolling and pitch it to John Zetmeyer with Channel 8 Sports.
Yeah, how about those Kansas City Royals? I can't wait till they get back on the diamond Friday. I saw a poll that said that 48 out of 50 states are cheering for the Royals to win, so let's hope America gets behind those Royals. Now to K-State. The Wildcats hosted the Texas Tech Red Raiders on Saturday, Army style. As part of Fort Riley Day, Willie, sporting his new look, led the Wildcats out onto the field along with members of the United States Army. The Wildcats got off to a quick start thanks to this 50-yard run by quarterback Jake Waters. The quarterback finished with 100 yards rushing and nearly 300 yards passing. Unfortunately for our Channel 8 cameraman Joel Garver, Waters didn't want to stop at the sideline. The defense did their part as well. Safety Travis Green picks off quarterback Davis Webb here. Green had 2 INTs on the day. Waters used his dynamic duo of receivers on Saturday With this catch, Tyler Lockett jumped to third place all-time in career touchdown receptions. Lockett sits just 5 touchdowns behind his father Kevin for all-time at Kansas State. The highlight of the night came late in the game when senior receiver Curry Sexton made this incredible one-handed grab. Sexton caught 9 balls for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kansas State took the win 45-13. The Wildcats are now 4-1 with a 2-0 Big 12 record. The Cats won't play until Saturday because they have a bye week this week. In other Wildcat news, the men and women's basketball teams have started practice, which means hoop season is right around the corner. If you wish to purchase tickets, just jump online to K-State's athletic page.
Sounds like an exciting week in sports, John.
It was truly.
We're going to take one last break, but when we come back, we've got one more look at the weather with Joel.
Stay tuned.
Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat, study, play, study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count, especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back. I'm Lacey Siefkin.
And I'm Alyssa Lally. It looks like we've got just enough time for one last look at the weather. What's going on outside, Joel?
Well, guys, as you might be able to tell, it's gotten a little bit sunnier and it's starting to definitely warm up. Like I said earlier, it's supposed to be in the mid to high 70s today, but expect rain tonight. So if you're going to get out and do something, like take your dog to the park, go for a run, I would recommend doing that before 8 or 9 p.m. tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joel. The Department of Human Nutrition, Health and Nutrition Society are holding a fundraiser dubbed Are You Chef Enough? The fundraiser helps teach those involved how nutrition is affected by poverty. Finalists prepare meals to give the audience an idea of the types of foods Kansans in poverty may consume on their low budget. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
You can find Channel 8 News on Facebook at Channel 8 News KSU and on Twitter at Twitter handle Channel 8 KSU. For all of us here at Channel 8 News, thanks for joining us.
And join us next week.